we're all here. The foursome. Every member of the foursome's here today. Papa LordSeifer over there. We got Luke, GermanLuke on the bottom of at least on the screen.
At least it's more creative than the threesome, right?
And then Jaybur right on my right. And everybody, just introduce yourselves. Like, how's your day going? Just say, how's your day going, Jaybur, and then we'll go Luke and then Cypher.
My day's going well. I've streamed today. It's been eventful.
Eventful.
Plenty of stoppages because of software.
Oh, how was Microsoft
software
Teams
problems
the last 7 days?
But it's not Microsoft Teams.
What about you, German or Luke? Are you Luke and you're German, right?
Yep.
Okay.
That's my whole branding right there. That's how creative I was with this. It's going good. It's going good. It's early in the day. Early is good.
And then Poppy Cypher, you've already told us, but tell the peeps how you do.
Well, that's a day. Well, today is a day. That's a fact. With all of this shit happening, that's a day. That's a day.
One day at a time.
Yeah, that's like Homer Simpson. We will live every single day, making it so that it will be the less painful possible.
Oh, I like that.
That works.
That works. So, guys, first off, are you a user of TikTok?
Yes.
Yeah.
The only one. Jaybur, are you a user of TikTok?
Say no.
Was that a yes, or was that like a Twitch?
I have 580 subscribers, by the way.
Blimey.
Was that a picture of you?
No, that's a picture of I don't remember his name. I always forget his name.
Oh, that's just do it.
Shia LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, I love this actor.
Wow, did you know that they quit Megan Fox in the series because he slept with Optimus Prime, and she didn't like that?
Wow.
Okay, maybe that wasn't why, but that's what I heard.
It makes sense. It actually makes a shitload of sense. Like, that's a good reason why she's not in the second film, honestly.
He's more into mechanical things.
I mean,
but guys, TikTok, the reason why I brought it up is if you live in India, you're in threat of losing your TikTok. And in the US now, they're tickling with it. Why do you think that is so? Anybody know why?
I thought they came out with because it's espionage from China.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, that's what I
think. Could you find a bigger mug?
It is extra big.
It's my ego mug. That's where I get all my pride from.
Product placement. Link down in the description.
No, that's no product placement at all.
Could I be able to get one with my logo or my name on it?
But that's what I heard. It's because to like espionage or something. That's why they wanted to.
China loves to, and I mean, for right or wrong, you decide. But China likes to know what you're doing, and so at least they're citizens, and probably the whole world.
Right.
And so TikTok apparently, I've read reports on it. Like they do artificial scanning and intelligence and tests, and they like to collect and log data, and then just throw it into algorithms and just data mass collect from TikTok users.
Yeah. The other thing I read though is that, like at least in India, they didn't just ban TikTok because of TikTok. They banned a wide variety of Chinese apps, like over the whole spectrum, just in general. Because they're Chinese apps.
I have an interesting thing that I wanted to bring up because it itches me, right, is Cypher, if you don't know, he's into marketing. And so from a privacy standpoint, I don't know if you have this conflict where do you believe that people should have their privacy to a certain point that doesn't affect your marketing? Like, where do you draw the line between marketing and privacy?
I mean, honestly, it really depends. It's a very controversial and hard topic because honestly, imagine this. I am selling whatever product. Okay, I am a company. I am company A, and I want to sell my product to someone. The more I know of this person, the more actually accurate and precise my ads will be. And if I am extremely precise, I can guarantee that 100% or at least 90% of the people that actually see my ads will actually buy my stuff. So imagine how profitable is that for a company. So drawing a line is actually very hard. Like a lot of people are actually trying to do that. How? If you go to a site, you know that your cookies are tracked and you can actually receive ads from the same site on other websites. Like, for example, if you go to Amazon and you watch a product, you will receive remarketing ads on every freaking site that you will go. That's a fact.
Yeah.
So is that actually is that safe? Is that fine? Because technically this is something that you see. Now imagine the same thing if you go to a porn site, okay? That's the same. Like they could actually remarket you easily in the same way if they wanted and if they actually had the permissions of Google to do porn advertisement. But the same question arises. They know that you were there, and everyone that is going into contacts with that knows this. Now imagine if you randomly go to a porn site at work, okay? Just randomly, like a cookie, a pop-up, it can happen. So what can happen? That whole server may actually be targeted by porn ads. So like seriously, we are just speaking about a small layer of privacy. We are not speaking about name, surname, email. No. That's a lot more. We are just speaking about easy cookies. And we can already have people being fired because of this. So now imagine stepping up your reach with name, surname, mail. So basically every time that you log in on Google, if I actually know your Gmail, I can always find you back, even if you don't have cookies, and remarket on you. Same with Facebook, same with Instagram. So it's incredibly hard.
But on the other side, I would say that it's the internet, and I think everyone should just know that the internet is not private.
Yeah.
It's like if you just approach the whole thing with the mindset that anything I do on the internet or online can and will be tracked and come back or whatever, then there's nothing to fear. I feel like if you're doing something on the internet you don't want people to know, you probably shouldn't do it.
I totally understand with you, but imagine the same case. I actually said this case about porn sites because I thought someone would actually go up with this argument. When you actually buy something from a porn site, okay, they ship you that thing, but that thing is actually hidden. They don't say the company, they don't say a lot of stuff because it's privacy. Now, the same thing would actually be I go to a bar, a freaking random bar. I go out after buying, I don't know, tequila boom boom, and then they start sending me stuff, and people think I am alcoholic. Like, what is the privacy at that point? That's the same thing, but the general mentality of people actually change it a little bit, So if you see me all day, every day at the bar, you may think that I may be an alcoholic, but you are not sure. You are maybe thinking that I am... I don't know, I am having fun with my friends. But if you know that I maybe went to a porn website, for example, even 1 single second, you could think that I am a pervert. I randomly went to a website in which there was, I don't know, scat. If you don't know what it is, that's a lot of shit involved in that. Or, I don't know, zoophilia. That's a lot of bad things. Imagine that of a person, like he didn't do anything, but everyone now thinks he's like a random pervert. That's not cool.
There's the thing where I like to also bring up to people is I agree if like when it comes to illegal stuff, but then Cypher there didn't necessarily say anything. Like there's some illegal stuff in there, but like the basic nature of the beginning steps isn't. And then of course people can make exaggerated judgments on that. And then privacy for me though, I believe that as humans, offline or online, there should be limits to where people can watch because we're human. Like I believe thoughts get created in a space where if you really want them to be your own thoughts, there shouldn't be much outside interaction until you have created enough that you can show that. Because if you're showing a half thought and then you share it with someone, then that is it really your thought anymore? I believe that can become the other person's thought, for example, if they collide with your original idea. And then privacy,
now, two small things that I would like to point out on your point, because I love your point. I just spoke about two things that could technically be, one of these is totally illegal, and the other is like very borderline on the like strange stuff. But this was an example for another example. Now imagine that you have a problem with your the thing, and it is not working well, and you buy Viagra, or you buy Chalice, or you buy Levitra. Every single brand has like it can help you with this stuff. Now the same thing can be applied for this, but in this case people actually think that you are impotent, that you are not capable. It can actually ruin your relationship with other people and with girls, and it can actually take you down from a psychological perspective. So we are actually starting from something that is totally legal to go in a direction that now my medical record is going outside and people knows about it, and that's not cool, and that's totally illegal. Then we have a problem.
I agree. And that's something though, and like you said, a good thing, German, with like it's the online, it's the internet, and I agree to an extent, but I believe that as we go forward in life, our internet and our offline self, our online and offline self, are pretty much going to become even more one, in a sense. I believe there's always, hopefully there will be always a separation. Cyberpunk 2077, let's go! But that separation, I'm waiting for an advertisement sponsorship, but that separation hopefully will stay there. But like in China, technically the offline like persona affects your online. Like they have they're testing like score points. Like you have an actual reputation that what you do offline will affect your online reputation, and they do socials like
there was a good show about that, actually, like about that social mirror that one,
mirror I watched that.
That was good.
That was
little
freaky.
It's like messed up, but
it was good.
If you think about it, it was actually pretty fucked up, but it's not that far away.
So I think that's why I like to fight for privacy and whatnot. But I also like for people to find my YouTube videos. So
like,
and remember, guys, if you post something online, like for example, if you go to the bar now, you drink like crazy, and you are wasted for a full day, maybe spitting on people on the bar. I mean, you just did something on the bar. If you do this on social media, social media will remember that moment for years. Decades even. Just watch Jeffree Star, for example. They are re-watching his videos of 12, 15 years ago.
So that's why I think if like you cannot be mad at anything that I feel like you do on the internet. Like if I don't know, I think everyone just needs to know, like whatever you do, right? It's always going to be there, like on the internet. It's not going to go anywhere. You can regret it, but you can't blame privacy, I think, for it.
It's like, but for example, I think definitely not privacy, probably, but it's like Alinity, for example. If you haven't followed her on Twitch, I don't follow her personally. I just always hear from her because people are always bashing her mistakes. But then Devin Nash, one of his most recent videos, he showcased how she just broke out crying on her stream, because someone said, ignore the bullies or the trolls. And then she just starts crying, and she said, for how long? Because it's been some of these mistakes have been happened weeks or months ago, and they still remind me till today. And it's like, how long do I need to read this trash or my punishment to be forgotten or forgiven for my mistake?
Probably never. It'll always be associated with her.
But that's the point. That's the point. Not a privacy issue, though. I think that's a people issue, maybe. Like, people need to
I
move
think
on.
it's just the mindset of the whole like industry, or it's just like the internet in general. It's so much easier to remember the shit instead of the actual good stuff that came from it. I feel like people are more likely inclined to go back on whatever you fucked up instead of looking at what you actually accomplished.
Well, that's right. But now imagine if it is the same shit as the car, okay? Why you can't drive a car without a driving license? Why?
Because the
There is a
government
reason.
stopped.
So you know how to operate it. What was that?
Yeah.
One, you don't know how to operate it. One.
Yeah.
Second, you can actually damage other people. Third, you could actually damage yourself, right? So what does the state or country do to actually warn you, help you? They say if you don't have the driving license, you can't actually buy a car, drive a car, use a car, right?
Right.
Okay. On the same logic, if you really want to go on the privacy thing, privacy is actually very hard to understand, and people that doesn't have a certain age can't actually understand what kind of a repercussion can their action have on the long run.
Right.
So technically we should actually have a fucking driving license for internet too. At this point, that's obvious, because if I, as a person, I mean everyone, don't understand how and in which way my privacy are being used, or if I say my name online or if I do something online, I don't understand what can actually happen. For example, a kid that will never understand that.
Right.
Should I really be online?
But is that so? Then that's the question: does this responsibility fall on the government, or does that responsibility fall on the parents?
That's the same question that we can do with clients. If you have a company and you are actually selling to private people, okay, private, so not other companies, you actually have to sign a document in which you explicitly tell that you are not going to, to use people and to steal from people. Because the state is trying to actually help and protect normal people, because the majority of people is actually not that smart. They can't actually understand all of this because it's not so easy to understand even for smart people.
A bigger, what you call them? Bigger things in oneself. But that's the thing with the viewers. Leave us know in the comment section below. Are you in for privacy more than what would be the offside of it? Just
Regulated
on regulation.
something. Yeah.
Because I agree. Like good extending was recently, as an example. So Apple made it on your phone with the new iOS 14 that you're going to be able to choose between, do I want to give my precise location or just a huge geofence, right? Like a huge circle. And I was reading on advertisement companies who are bashing that and saying that's going to hurt the industry, that is not good. And I'm like, I like to have that freedom. But someone has to be in between to do that freedom, right? Like me personally, I bet the majority of people don't even care. They're like, what's a geofence? What's that?
Yeah.
Like, is that a donut? And so
That's the point.
Can you eat that?
I believe there has to be a bigger force, and that's always, hard.
No, I agree with
balance.
that. I think the consumer should have the option to. For example, I don't care. Like if you do like Google Rewards or something like that, they ask you which stores you visited, and you just check the scores. You literally tell them where you were or when you were there, and they pay you for it.
Well, on the internet too, they'll pay you to like they'll just analyze your internet usage from your router. I had an offer too. They were like, "We'll give you so and so much money if you just use it." And I'm like, "No, I'm not going to." I knew a friend. He literally had an audio receiver that he just attached to his belt or carry in his hand or whatever, and it would listen in to the TV, and then it would make records of how much TV he watched, and he'd get paid for how many ads he watched from the TV. So he'd literally just leave it in front of his TV, but I'm like, is it really just recording your TV? Like, that's for me is a little too much.
Yeah.
But that's privacy.
That's something similar.
Jaybur, you've been quiet. You finish it off, bro.
I'm not sure if you heard about this, but our government put a test. You know, the test and tracing for the coronavirus. Now, iOS and Android updated their software, where if you go into the developer options, you've got the option of if you put in your Bluetooth on, and it would tell you whether you'd come into contact with people with coronavirus, or if you'd been near anyone.
Yeah.
But people are always are saying, it's for a more sinister reason. They're just spying on you. So
I mean, how can they actually reach that information? Like, I think that's an amazing bullshit. Like, it can actually be that an app like this exists, but like, we are speaking about medical data. That's like 10 layers higher than what we were speaking of. So name and name.
Right.
What?
Yeah.
The fuck?
No, the thing is, Apple does a random. The technical part of it, like I've studied it, and it makes sense. It's not useful per se, other for big data collection. The way they've set it up, and I believe that's why a lot of states and there hasn't been a lot of push for it. Actually, in the United States, only like 5 states actually use it, and the rest don't. And I believe it's because you can't do much with it. All it does, it's locally stored on your device, and that's it. It just tells you came in contact with it. Do you remember the Nintendo? Ever have a Nintendo DS?
No.
Never?
Nope.
Yeah.
And like what? Cypher. Yeah.
Like, what the fuck's wrong with you? It's like, what did you grow up under?
You sounded ashamed then.
You
No,
know,
I was like,
It's like speechless.
I was gonna throw like a demographic change. I was like, okay, they're in England, maybe it's not, or Europe, or Italy. It's not that prominent. But then Cypher says, I have one.
No,
He doesn't.
I didn't have the DS. I went from the Game Boy to the Color to the SP, and that was it.
fucking
the
rich.
Never the
General
DS.
died. What happened? But the DS had that. It had a street pass that when you came in contact with someone, you'd get their Pokemon, or I played Nintendogs. I get like their pet. Our pets would play, but it would die there. Like, at least that's what I didn't research further into it. It just collect the data and say.
Oh, the data. I was like, the pets play. It would die there. I was like, oh,
yeah, no,
that's kind of. Is that a child?
Animal cruelty. But anyway, guys, moving on. That's TikTok and privacy. Xbox event coming up on the 23rd.
It's still alive? Does it still exist, Xbox?
That's what they're going to do their
No, Xbox One.
comeback.
PlayStation Monopoly right now.
Yeah, dude, like, I even checked I was doing the Amazon links for the article today, and I mean, at first I was surprised, but then I wasn't. The PlayStation copy for quite a few games, I would say half at least, was always $5 to $10 more expensive on Amazon than it was for the Xbox version. And I would just, at first I felt butthurt because I prefer Xbox, but it makes sense. I mean, PlayStation has more of a user base.
Yeah.
But anyway, that event's happening. That's where they're going to reveal Halo Infinite. Any Halo fans here?
Sweet.
I mean, that's probably the only decent game that they can release anymore.
Yeah,
Like, they don't have anything else decent for now.
Yeah, they're going to be quite, I think, at least one more year or two before they can come up with anything worthwhile.
They don't have any special exclusive. They are... I mean, Microsoft is doing a lot of bad things. They even closed... they wanted to be a concurrent with Apple stores. Well, they closed every single Microsoft store in the world except for 2 big cities. I think New York and something else. So
yeah, I think
they are freaking
Yeah,
dying.
I feel like Microsoft's definitely like their consumer. It's the consumer like section department is like, I don't know. I guess they don't understand consumers or something, other than of course, PC gaming. I feel like gaming as a service, they understand it better than most.
Maybe it's just not. Maybe it's just not worthwhile.
Yeah, you can ask Blizzard. You can ask Blizzard how to understand your customer.
Yeah, but it's like, if it's not making them a good chunk of money, why should they be focusing on it if they can make more money with just corporate stuff or whatever they also doing?
And they are actually losing the corporate stuff because actually Microsoft, okay, so Windows,
Microsoft Teams.
He's actually losing a good chunk of his market, slowly, but a good chunk, thanks to Linux.
Wow.
They seriously are losing. They are not earning. They are losing space.
That's crazy.
And all of these researches that you did 5-10 years ago on PC, internet, etc., as you know, more than 65% of every search online is done by mobile. How many Microsoft mobiles
Microsoft
do you
phones
know?
didn't work out. It's like they even tried to partner with Nokia at some point. It was sad. Like,
That's it, because they actually wanted to retain the market and the customers. They lost it. They are actually losing ground fast.
Yeah, I honestly am on that opinion too. I think Microsoft, the corporate, I mean, consumers are a little, like, you could say slower or faster, depending on which category you look at it, but they're lazier, I guess, than corporate. But, I mean, corporate is, like, there's not really about, at least, like, if you noticed, the mobile devices, which Apple and Android dominate, slowly are dominating the corporate front face. Like, when you check what mobile device do they implement, it's either iPad or some Android equivalent of it, like phones wise. And I feel like they're building their foundation there, and once those devices and that software can take care of corporate needs, why would you stick with Microsoft that only offers you that niche?
And they are freaking expensive, and they doesn't support even that well anymore.
Oh, customer service. I need to tell you guys. Have you had a customer experience with Microsoft recently? In the last month?
I used it in the last 5 years, but not in the last 6 months.
I dreaded it. I spent 2 hours trying to upgrade my Windows, and I could have done it. I mean, I could have just deleted the whole thing. My computer's fast enough that it would have done it in 10 minutes, and I'm done. But I had the goal to find out how long it would take me to fix this, because I would put my key and it would say cannot upgrade edition, error. I'm like, okay, let's talk to customer service. And it took 2 hours for them to not be able to fix it. We could not get it to fix. And the guy just said, I think you're just going to have to delete everything and redo it. Make a backup and then redo it. And I'm like,
and now imagine someone that is not touchy like ENDWARO. They will, like a old grandma, she will be fucked. She will fuck seriously. How would she? I actually had on one of my last jobs, we had a big call center with 25 resources, and I was managing those resources with for the online e-commerce part. And I had a customer that basically almost killed our customer service. They spent 1 hour speaking on how to fix the site because the site was not working. They asked me to come because they couldn't actually help. Like, every single possibility wasn't there. And she didn't actually power on the computer. The freaking computer wasn't actually powered up. That's why she had a black screen. Now, that's it is funny when you actually are in that situation. But seriously, if you think about it,
it just didn't make sense. Yeah, she just didn't get it.
That's the point. So that's why we actually have to be very careful of people that doesn't really understand that shit. You can't expect everyone to understand privacy or customer support. Not even Microsoft.
Yeah, that is true. And then, not to offend anybody, but they're English. Like, I deal with people that don't have English as a native, and I'm kind of used to it. But the guys that they put me with,
it's like everyone in here.
Everybody.
It's like, well, he has the British English, the proper English.
Yeah, he has the very clean, freaking
When we learned in school, we weren't even
models.
allowed to learn American English. It was British English, the proper way of speaking.
That's cool.
Right.
Let's see. It's about 30 minutes, guys, and I wanted to cover, I think, one of the hard and important ones before we move into gaming. Which, by the way, guys, everybody, if you're still watching or listening, remember, I need to practice this a little more, but remember to follow us all on Twitch. We're all moved. We're all Twitch.
Get it together. Go practice. I need to practice that myself.
I need to put more.
But follow me anyway, even if I practice.
So, like, we all stream on Twitch. and different days. LordSeifer over here, he's doing busy stuff over here, but his schedule is a little more on, like they say in Japanese, bara bara, which means all over the place.
Yeah, and bada boom, cha cha.
Well, I came to your stream last night. I think it was at like midnight my time, and you just blasted music, or was it yesterday? Yeah, like in the afternoon, you just blasted music, dancing. I was like,
you blasted music,
and the lights were off.
You were asking.
It was only his monitor shining his face.
Fucking the MCA. I was
like,
a self-esteem all the night.
I was like, someone's had a little too much of something, but he was having fun. So the other thing is, talking about that, maybe this is a good transition. Watch this transition. As Cypher was blowing off steam as a content creator, was that good for his mental health? Because the topic
probably
just
not to do it on
is
stream,
mental health.
But
I mean, that's totally not fine. But I mean, now imagine that's the same thing that you can actually ask to Llama that was drunk on stream.
Oh my god!
He was so fucking great, right?
yesterday,
Right? My god,
he called me yesterday on stream.
he was drunk when here was 7 o'clock at 2 a.m. of my night. So basically, 5-6 hours later, he was still drunk as fuck, still drinking, and he was like, "That's imagine this is a microphone."
Mm.
You know what is happening. You know everything. That was basically his whole stream, whole night. That was it. That was seriously it. So
Yeah, don't get drunk on stream. At least beyond your control.
watch.
It's fun to watch at points.
It is definitely a super hilarious. Plus, he's a cool kid. But imagine if he says something that he didn't mean, or maybe come out with something racist, because his brain is like not working properly at that point.
Yep,
That's a problem.
There's been plenty of people. There's been people that have done that before. You know,
Totally.
got drunk on stream and then said something they shouldn't have, or like that guy. I think he was drunk. He was playing about with his gun. I can't remember his name. And as he was doing that, it shot that way. And then Twitch banned him for like 30 days or something.
Yeah. Well,
I would actually ban him for a lot more. That's super.
But yeah,
That's true. It's like
deserved. Yeah.
Like, are you guys familiar anything with Byron Reckful?
Yeah.
I sort of skimmed over it.
I heard about it.
Yeah, him, just to give you the context, he was like an OG Twitch streamer back in the.
He was one of the first,
Yeah.
True OG.
Big and wow.
And he was known, to be quite personal. And one of the things he did a lot was show his true emotions, but also his relationships with pretty much 2 predominant girls on him, but a few other ones. But that's one area where I feel like you can be real and personal, but you have to be so careful with how personal you get. That's why I believe there has to be some things that have to be private, just by the fact that we're emotional beings. And like, did you ever watch the movie Interstellar?
Yeah.
So in the movie, there's the robot, and then he says, emotional beings, it is not recommended that you are 100% honest with them. And so then he's like, why not? And he just said, because you're emotional. And then he tries him out, does a joke and whatnot. And then he's like, okay, let's keep it at like 80% honesty. And so the robot, that always stuck to me in a sense. There's some, like, it doesn't mean you're always, but there's moments where 100% honesty just doesn't work. It's actually worse to be 100% honest.
Sometimes we don't really want to know the truth. That's a fact, because the truth can actually make us worry. It can actually hurt us a lot. And if it is like something that, if we don't know, will not hurt us, with time it can actually pass. For example, I don't know if Luke has a girlfriend, but imagine if his girlfriend now cheated on him, okay? And in the next 5 years, Luke has a very nice relationship with her. Everything is fine. She didn't cheat anymore, and he ended up knowing that she cheated on him now. His attitude for this thing will totally change in time, because he will probably break up instantly now. So due to these kind of situations, everything can change. Sometimes we don't really want to know everything. Just a small portion.
Yeah.
That's fair enough.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree. That's a good. I think, and for people watching, if you're like getting your mind clogged on the fact that someone cheated, like just try to see the principle behind that. The idea, you can apply that to anything really.
Yeah.
Like my favorite example, not as dramatic or strong as Cypher's, but it's like, for example, as a male, or even if someone
Are we males?
yeah,
Boy, I lost
that's
something.
what I thought, but I double checked this morning, and I am.
Is that your turtle in the background sitting like outside?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's my turtle.
It's kind of cool.
He's
I never
sitting
noticed
there.
that.
Yeah.
Did you turn off the water now, or did you just activate a noise canceling?
What? What?
Did you turn off the water on your turtle's little thing, or you
No,
just
it's
activated noise
still
canceling?
working. You see that the water is moving.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, can't hear
Huh.
anymore. That's pretty cool. So, like, my example is,
That's why I got distracted by a turtle.
I was telling
We
my
were
wife
speaking
one
about
day.
important stuff, guys. Please, come on.
She told me, when I wear something and I don't look good, even if it took me a while to find it, and I don't look good, I don't want you to hide it from me and just tell me the pure truth. Do I look ugly or not? And we've had this thing with her that I was like, at first, now we're pretty much, it's gotten to the point that I can do it at any moment, and she she can control it. But when we first started, there was moments where she would be mad, and she would ask me, and I'd be like, yeah, no, like that looks beautiful, even though it didn't. But I'd be like, it did. But then I, like the next day or something, or a few weeks, I would tell her again. But this time I knew she was mad, and I told her the truth, and she got mad at me. And I'm like, you see, there it is. Like I reminded her about the past experience, and she's like, you're right. You're right. But then now,
I mean, you were lucky because she said you were right. In general, they don't say you were right. You are
That is
just a
true.
bad person. You are disrespectful. You are insensitive. Like, we can go on.
but yeah, that's true. Some people then related to that. She and I grew and developed that level of honesty, but it wasn't like that at the beginning. You have to grow there. And so, like Cypher said, some things better wait than others, because you might actually hurt the person more by telling the truth than not.
Yeah.
But yeah, mental health stuff, really, I think we covered it at the beginning, mostly with society being like, oh yeah, that was the thing. Just because we covered that part at the beginning, I'm thinking, do you guys think words have power?
Words?
Holy shit.
Yeah, they do.
They do. What's about the saying?
Mhm.
Why do you think some people say words only have power if you allow them to? Do you think that's true?
Well, imagine this. How can you actually control some stuff? For example, you know that how our brain is wired, right? We actually evolved in the last 10,000 years. So with us, with our knowledge, our body didn't evolve so fast. So basically, when we actually have some fear right now, we don't actually process that fear in a smart way. The smartest way to process fear is actually to be freaking extremely calm, totally neutral, and think logically. What does our brain do? The exact opposite. It
Panic.
closes itself, it stops working, and it is ready to do one of the two things:
Fight or flight.
fight or flight, or run or fight. That's our brain. This is how the brain is wired. Okay, now imagine someone that's that you trust. If that person says you something very bad, or I don't know, even very bad thing like "I will kill you," or even if this person doesn't actually mean it, the way in which your brain will actually process this thing, that's a fucking mess.
That's true.
I think there was one thing that I don't know if you know the streamer Esmond Gold. Like,
Oh yes, I love him.
biggest live
He's
streamer,
a
yeah.
good guy.
In his recent video, he said it was. I think it made a lot of sense. Like there's so much, like trolls, negativity in your chat while you stream. But he said the worst thing is like you are reading the chat messages, right? And like every insult, like you're reading it in your own voice. So it's basically like you're beating yourself up, like over and over again. You are reading when someone says you're an asshole, like you're reading it. Oh, I'm an asshole. Like, and you're beating yourself up, and it comes.
It is a lot stronger. It is a lot stronger. You are actually enforcing that phrase.
Yeah.
You're validating it. That's what you're doing.
Yeah.
That's
even if it's I believe there's layers of how deep something can get into your mind and process it. But doing that, there's different levels of where a word might get. And I have in the video I made about Byron, I came up with the analogy of like an HP bar and a shield. And I feel like there are moments in our life when, you could be having out of 100 comments, 10 are good and 90 are just insults. But that day, let's say your shield is enormous. You're like, it barely tickles you. But there are days where that shield might not be there. And maybe even your HP is really low. That same thing would have a different impact on you than the day prior or whatever. So I think that's what people
imagine losing your job, your ego and your confidence are dropping down. From that moment, you are actually very exposed to everything people will tell you. Because if you tell me, and maybe I don't know, I am an entrepreneur, I am full of money, you are a failure, you can say, well, the fuck do you say? I am not a failure, I have results, I have everything. And then someone comes to you on one of those days that everything is going wrong, because we all have those days. And you are like, even if you know that that's not true, you are still taking it seriously.
Yeah, you react.
That's true. So be careful with those peeps, and of course, don't bash Microsoft Teams too much. Right, Jaybur?
Because they have Windows, right? And we are using Windows right now.
Unless social services do it first.
I'm on my Mac, but
next argument, are you on a Mac?
I'm on a Mac. Changed my mind.
Oh, I saw that someone posted that on Facebook today. It was like, Twitch is better than Facebook gaming. Changed my mind with 100+ comments. I wasn't even about to read it. I was like, oh shit, here we go.
That guy.
Like,
Premiere Pro, Photoshop, Media Encoder. Did I change your mind, Enwar?
No. Final Cut.
For me, that was the reason.
Okay, we'll go into that rabbit hole a little later, guys, because we're at 45 minutes ish. And so I'm thinking new games. I wanted to have the article out today for you before, like an hour before this podcast, but you probably wouldn't have read it, for one. Second, that's pretty much the only reason why.
Okay. Well, what new games are coming out? I think I know about one or two.
Okay, tell us the one you know, and I'll pull up my article here.
Halo? Are we talking Xbox exclusives?
We're talking the month of July for now, or that if we can't get that specific, then we can talk about further down. But July would be better.
For Xbox only, or for like in general games?
In general, gaming.
Oh. The one I think, pretty sure it's July. Yeah, like New World.
Yeah.
Open beta, I think, coming out in July. I think Amazon's newest MMORPG.
Oh, I didn't see that one on my list.
I'm awaiting the delivery of Formula 1 2020.
Dude, that one is in the article. Yup. So you're an actual fan of Formula 1 2020?
Yeah.
Wow. In my article, I put, another year, another F1 game. Because I don't know, but on Twitch it's got like 12,000 viewers, so people are watching it.
Yeah,
July 10th.
Yeah, I think this year, I'm not sure if they did this last year. This year they've got a load of content creators and gave them the game about a week early for them to do like exclusive gameplay videos and
they're getting smart.
Streams. Yeah.
Dang.
So
I'm sorry,
looks good,
Jaybur.
though.
We need to get it so they get you a copy for a week early. You'd be streaming that puppy then.
Yep. What about Hyperscape? Isn't that coming out July 12th? Or is that just... I saw
Is that even a
something-
game?
Yeah, like the Hyperscape sounds familiar, but is it a different?
What?
What is that?
No,
Never
no,
heard of it.
Hyperscape. No,
The one that you were like,
Hyperscape
sucking
comes
ass
out
on
July
the other
12th,
day
but it's got the.
while you were
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
I don't have a good.
I just saw it
opinion
today,
about
like right before the podcast. There was something like announcement on July 12th. I wasn't sure if it's like coming out July 12th.
Yeah, but I mean, is that even a big game? Like, a big games that will come will be, I don't know, Paper Mario, the Origin King. Like, that's a nice game. Not a
No,
shit.
it's gonna be like Battle Royale, like any other Battle Royale.
Yeah, that's
Gonna
what
be
I write in the
hype
article.
for a week, and then probably down on the Twitch categories, all the way
Yeah.
down. Yeah, it's not
Like Rocket Arena is actually a battle royale. I don't even know that.
Rocket Arena. What is that?
Yeah, Rocket
Yeah,
Arena.
one game that will come this month.
Wait, wasn't it 3-3 though? 3 versus 3. I think it's a 3 versus 3 game.
It's a 3 versus 3 game.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's even like more interesting than that crap, honestly.
Honestly, for me,
Rocket
you'll read it
Arena.
when the article. I'll send it to you today, Cypher. After this
Oh
podcast,
Jesus,
but-
no, sorry, no Rocket Arena is a EA Games original. Fuck it, no.
Oh, okay. No, Hyperscape.
You-
yeah,
you
yeah,
laugh,
I
but
wasn't
that's
too
true.
interested in it. I feel like
If
it'll
it's
die.
EA, there's going to be loot boxes in it.
They will. I mean,
You
I
gotta sell
hope.
your right testicle to get that loot box going.
Oh yeah,
Jesus
Cypher was saying that on the stream with
Actually make it in the
Hyperscape.
game.
He was playing
Like-
it, and then he said how he's like, okay, I'm touching the menus, and then boom, an offer to buy something. He's like, oops, it's been 5 minutes, and I've already been asked to buy something.
Yeah,
A lot
dude,
of times,
EA.
paid stuff actually works better than the actual game for EA games.
The loot boxes, they make more money with it.
Yeah,
true, though.
the
Yeah.
loot boxes system, when the game maybe is down or something is not working, we have lag on server, we have people that can't join the matches. Generally, the loot box system goes like, mwah, mwah, so good.
That is true. I don't know, man. People,
Massive,
I blame the
massive
developers too,
example of that is
publishers.
FIFA 20. Ultimate Team
Oh, yeah.
is just, the packs are just like every week.
And it's
There's
like
a- there's a
people buy
difference.
it though. That's the thing. Like I don't really just blame the publishers because
Oh no,
it's a 50
people buying it. Like,
yeah, why do you buy it?
yeah.
It's the
It's like we're a
casual, it's the
minority.
casual gamers, the ones that aren't grinding it, that go, oh, I want an Mbappe or Ronaldo. Let's open a load of packs to it.
Yeah, they're like,
That's what
I
it
just
is.
got back from work. I hate my life. I need an endorphin shot. Oh, a pack for $20. Oh, this feels good. Go to sleep the next day. Miserable life. Sit down. Oh, a pack. Oh.
Yep.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, yeah, people are buying it. That's why they put it in it. If it wouldn't work, wouldn't be in it.
That's
That's
true.
how it works.
Yeah.
Yep. Big titles that I pretty much mentioned was like anybody in the Death Stranding. It's coming out for PC July 14th.
Yeah, me.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking. Cypher more of that.
I mean, Kojima, come on, fucking Kojima. That's it. That's your answer.
Death Stranding?
I love them.
Yeah,
Was it?
Hideo Kojima, bro.
Death Stranding. I gotta look it up.
Luca, do you live in US or you live in fucking Antarctica? Just
Under a rock.
fucking jeez. Like seriously, he's one of the like Silent Hill,
Yeah.
Kojima, Metal Gear Solid, Kojima. My
haven't heard
sexy
of-
ass Kojima. Oh wait, that's not it.
My fantasies when I was a teenager, Kojima. Well, yeah, Death Stranding's coming out. It's on PlayStation, but it stopped being an exclusive as of July 14th. Then
Yes.
another big game is Grounded, which is like Honey, I Shrink the Kids. It's like a miniature. You live
Yeah.
in the yard and you do stuff like that outside.
I heard about that
Survival
one.
game. Anybody played ever the Destroy All Humans game? It's kind of a cult classic. Not too
Nope.
popular, but enough that it has a big following. What
No.
else we got? Big games. Catherine. Nope.
Well, we have the new Iron Man, boring. We have
new
Ghost
Iron
of Tsushima, that can actually be interesting. We have the new Warhammer 4000 Mechanicus, that can actually be an interesting strategy game. Why not?
Yeah.
And then we have Hellpoint. I don't know anything about Hellpoint. It's coming for every single console. I don't know shit about it.
Hellpoint's even coming out for Linux.
Yeah.
That means something.
Like, I'd literally write in the article, I'm like, if you... it's a Souls, like, Dark Souls game.
Right.
The art's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of Dark Souls games, but...
Sci-fi Souls-like.
Yeah.
It seems so close to Path of Exile, but with Dark Souls movements.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, the art style's like that. And
It's cool.
They want to make sure you play it because it's on every console, even the Switch, and any software operating system. So it's out there.
That's great. Yeah.
It means you need to play it. That's
great. Hellpoint is great.
Yeah, Hellpoint.
I would stop playing it after 10 minutes because of rage, but totally fine.
That is true. Well, boys, I think that's the games. I think we'll definitely get hopefully better at... Oh, by the way, Cypher, you remember playing on the stream, you played this scary game. It's in here. I put it in here. Where is it? It's like Infliction. I think you played Infliction, a horror game, and I came in and you're like in a house and you try to get in and you thought maybe she's looking at me through the window, but instead you went through the door and you're inside and there's like a girl yelling or crying.
No, but I would love to try it. The second one is coming.
Oh, okay. This is Infliction, like the extended cuts coming out for the consoles, but I quote you in the article, man, and I say, yeah, LordSeifer was streaming this. You didn't even stream it.
I didn't. I didn't. No. I played another one.
Fake news.
I didn't. I mean, I can play it, so you can say I played it, but...
Do it right now.
I mean, it seems very interesting. It's Infliction extended cut, so it's like the original plus extra content.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like a remaster per se, but yeah, just everything in there for the laggers on the consoles.
I mean, you generally never watch me play horror games. Even my moderators leave me when I play freaking horror games.
They're fun,
scary, dude.
That's why I need moderators, Jesus.
You don't want to be alone.
Yeah,
that's why
I would never play a horror game alone. I will never.
Yeah, it's like, what's the point, man? I'm here to have fun. And the fun is to be scared together, not alone.
Exactly.
Okay.
I mean, at least I can wipe your ass and you can wipe my ass.
Wait, I don't cry for my ass, though.
I am sorry that you will have so much editing because of me for YouTube.
Why my ass, no
Straight
one
up.
else.
But I think the ASS, it means donkey, though, so why would need to edit that? Like, I have a donkey. You have a donkey
No, not
too,
that.
remember?
I mean, all of the other bad things that I said till now. I said the F word at least 15 times.
Oh, I don't remember it.
I do.
I said it in my heart.
Good luck.
Boys, we reached about an hour. Closing terms, anything? Everybody, this is a podcast that's supposed to happen once a week, and at the very least.
Yeah.
And
I would like to make you guys a last question about the fact that we know that we have already 2 people suiciding on Twitch in the same month.
Mm-hmm.
Like, fortunately not on stream, but what is your opinion on this social dilemma?
How to fix it, or what do you mean?
Why? First of all, why is it there? Then how can we fix that if we can? And why? Why people end up in a situation in which they think that the only escape is death? Because that's never the reason. It's like, that's never the solution, sorry. Never. Yeah. It will not solve anything.
I mean, I think from like Twitch perspective, it's hard to fix. Like that, you can't really do. I think like we talked earlier, I think it's a people problem. Like people are just focusing on the negative so much and tearing people apart for their mess ups instead for what they did right. And like Alinity said, like, when is it going to be enough? like, yeah, she did something stupid, you know, and she's paying for it, but how long does she really have to pay for it? And there's only so long before someone just snaps, you know, before you just can't take it no more.
I think a big problem with society now is like this. When I refer to spiritual, I don't mean Christianity in general. I just mean it could be Buddhism, like in Asia and whatnot. There's a bunch of other things. Just this, what I call in spiritual moral compass or whatever, that now society deems as that's not cool. It's cool and fine to be like everything's temporal. Nothing has bigger meaning than the meaning of the actual thing. So just kind of like hardware guys, you only think about the numbers, and that's all that matters. The things it creates, for example, a camera. I want to talk about the camera's hardware, not the pictures that are awesome going to come out of it. I don't care about your baby pictures if they're going to look better. I care about my camera being awesome. And that's like cooler now. And they're shamming people that believe or have something more meaningful in a sense, even if it's flawed or weird or not understandable. So I think that's a big issue with society.
I don't think there's a fix, because it's not up to the platform or anything. It's the people. Like,
yeah, that's the other thing. You got to be careful with that.
Okay, so basically you mean that if on our society every one of us start killing each other, that's up to the state, to the nation. Like if you in USA start killing each other, that's up to us and not to the state to actually manage this situation.
No, I'm just saying, like, I mean, if we go there, if there's like,
I freaked you.
If there's if there's looting, for example, right, like the army or the government steps in to take it under control. But that's what I'm saying is, like, how is Twitch going to step in to stop trolls, haters, and those kind of things?
You see, that's the real problem, because Twitch has a conflict of interest for all of these bad things. It's the same stuff with bots. They can't actually ban, or at least technically they can, but they don't want ban people that are botting a lot. Why? Because those bots are actually faking very well the activity of new users on the platform. So they have actually a piece of paper with a lot of zeros that they can give to the stakeholders and say, stakeholders, this is our result. We have, 100,000 people on the platform during this period. We are doing great. Like, stakeholders will not ask you, how many bots are there? Like, what? And that's the same with psychology. That's the same with this situation. If we actually start aggressively as a Twitch, I speak from the Twitch standpoint, if they start aggressively banning people that are just a little bit offensive or starting flame or anything, they will have to delete so much people and so many accounts that they will not be excused with the stakeholders. So they can't. That's it. They just can't.
Well, I mean, the other thing is, even if you ban someone, right, for like trolling or something, they make a new account, they're back.
That's the point. I mean, you can actually ban their IP, but if they are not stupid enough, they can actually change their IP. So what will you do? Ban them every time? Totally possible. But that will actually create more problems because you have to spend a lot of time banning people.
Yeah, and money. Like you said.
Totally.
It's not in their interest to spend the money.
Like, I just want to
exactly.
Xbox,
Plus, all of this shit that is happening on Twitch, that's a shitload of views for YouTube, for Twitch, and for all of the blogs, the websites, and the channels that are actually creating more flame and more propaganda.
Yeah, and that's, I don't know. I think that brings it back to what I mean. Like, negativity is just more popular. And like focusing all on all the negativity, like you said, if something negative happens on Twitch, it goes on YouTube. There are websites and journalists that write about it, and those get views and those ads and all that. But with positive things, I don't feel like it happens that often.
I mean, guys, come on. Like, every one of you, please imagine this. You know that every day we have the news on TV, right? Whatever channel you pick. I don't really care. Pick the news of a channel. And you go there and you watch the TV. And they said, This guy actually saved this cat from a house. And it seems that the situation in the politics are actually improving. And a guy almost died, but he actually survived, and now he's fine with his family. Who the fuck cares? That's the problem.
Yeah,
People
that's
don't
exactly
care
what I
about
mean.
that.
You
They
need a
want
beat,
to
though.
see the world is imploding,
Yeah,
shit
they
is
wanna see
falling, new
it burn.
apocalypse.
Yeah.
That's what they want.
That is
Yeah.
true. That is
If
what
the
they-
Four
I noticed.
Horsemen would come down right now on ABC News, everyone would be happy. Like,
That
Yeah,
is
that's
true.
the big new thing.
Everybody
Like-
would click and be like, "Whoa!"
yeah, finally,
an
man,
issue.
I've been waiting for some drastic change. I want to see the world burn. Like, yeah,
That's
it is
true.
what it is.
Yup. It's
So what is the problem? Our values. The values of the people are fucked up.
Yep.
that is true. And in all this, I just see lots of young people and done it at times when they, and this can get even deeper though. But I'm like saying like they'll bash their parents' beliefs, but then it's like, what do you believe in then? Like, what's holding you on a what direction are you going? Because if you take out
Exactly.
rules, it's chaos. And last time I checked, full chaos is not a lot of fun. Chaos doesn't care
Yeah.
about feelings. It's all and so it's like I don't know.
But plus, the chaos is not good or bad. Chaos is fucking neutral. That's why he's called chaos, because you don't know what is gonna happen. That's chaos.
Yeah.
Because if it is bad, it's not chaos. It's bad stuff. If it is good, that's good stuff. But chaos is you don't know what will happen. That's chaos.
And then humans don't like randomness.
We don't like chaos. We love to know what will happen. We fear that we will, like, if something happens and we didn't expect it, that's terrible for us.
Yeah.
There is a whole expert in marketing that says this about beautiful women. Do you know that? Like,
That's
there is a big problem in the country of our great Jaybur, and that's the
Yeah.
trains are slow. The trains are freaking slow. How can
They are.
a company fix that? And people started speculating, well, we need new technologies. We can actually go to China, take the trains and everything. And it will cost like $10 billion. Awesome, amazing. And he said, do you want me to fix that? Yes, easy. We have a budget of, for example, $5 billion. So half of what we would need to actually take the trains from China. Awesome. What I would do is actually I would pay top models to actually serve free drinks on the trains. Okay, it will cost me a shitload less than even 1 billion, and everyone would be happy. People would be actually mad that the train was too fast. Okay, and that's one point. And the other point, to actually fix that in actually a more serious way, you just have to show people when the train will come. People hate insecurity. They want to know, okay, the train is late. How late it is?
Yeah.
How much do I have to wait? Because, for example, if you bought something on Amazon, top, you know that it will come tomorrow. Easy, right?
Technically,
You
that's
are-
what I thought, yeah, but I had a lot
Exactly,
of
but
problems with Amazon.
you are not sure, first of all, that it will come tomorrow. Second, you don't know at which hour it will come. So you will stop doing your stuff. You will not doing, like, you will say, okay, I will not go to work because I have to wait this thing. And I can't go shopping because the thing is going to come. So I don't know when will happen. So I'm not doing anything else. I am just waiting, procrastinating, and maybe it will not come tomorrow, but after tomorrow. So I just lost 1 day of my life.
That's what I'm waiting on right now. It says, will be delivered by 9 p.m. tonight. I'm like, well, am I going to take my dog out right now or not? Might get delivered at the time I take my dog out. I'm literally just here waiting for it.
That's it. So people don't like insecurities. They want to know exactly everything.
That's true. Boys, the viewer decides then. What are your morals? What's keeping you? What's guiding you?
I mean, they are watching your channel. They don't have morals.
My rages. Like my rages. Even in my rages, guys, I have morals that are there blocking me. What are your
That's why you are not burning your enemies. It seems legit. I agree with you.
burning your enemies? So, guys, I think that's a good podcast for today. We reached over an hour.
Totally.
I think it's good.
Yep.
I'll do the touching and all that good stuff. Everybody remember streamingliveacademy.com. I love saying that. It sounds so good. It's like streaming live. Wait, let me say. Streamingliveacademy.com. It's like .com. Come over to streamliveacademy.com. We got real good
Yeah,
tips over here.
A lot of people is coming right now, I suppose.
yeah.
In a lot of ways, probably.
Oh, Lord.
.com.
But and so you'll have we have articles, videos, and all that good stuff out here, and it'll keep growing slow by slow. And let us know in the social medias what we need to improve on, what needs to be fixed, or just improved like quality wise. But yeah, that's LordSeifer on my little corner right here. This is GermanLuke. That's Jaybur, and I'm ENDWARO7. So guys, I think we leave it at that.
Yeah, totally.
Peace out, everybody.
Laters.
Don't forget to hit the subscribe button.
Bye-bye.
On all our channels. Peace out.